Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Comeback Sports Podcast. I'm your host, AJ, and this is Season 2, Episode 2. We got a jam-packed filled episode as usual. We'll be talking about Carson Wentz and his trade rumors, Kevin Durant sitting out a Friday night's game, and I have a special collaboration with the Corner Store Podcast on a Super Bowl preview. So stick around and we will discuss. Now for your quote of the week. When you care about somebody, you do what's best for them, even if it sucks for you. What does that quote mean to me? Well, I kind of look at it two different ways. One being that sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do for somebody. There's things that you just want to avoid doing, but you care about this person, so you want to do something for them. Or you can look at it as you may have to tell somebody something that may hurt their feelings, but you know it's best for them. It could be critiquing them, and let's say that somebody saw my recording for this episode and they didn't think it was great, and they thought I could do this instead, but they're afraid it might hurt my feelings. So sometimes you just got to be honest with people, and you got to look out for them, even if it's hard for you to do the actual looking out for. Wow, it's been a really busy week. Work's busy as usual, but I got a lot of stuff done today. I mean, for starters, I got this really nice lamp. You can't really see it, but you can kind of see that it's on. You know, the little yellow lighting that's coming off of it. I really like it. It kind of sets the mood right for my living room. I got some coffee, some new coffee. So I have a Keurig now, and I got this breakfast blend coffee along with this blonde coffee. I'm not sure what it's exactly called, but I know it has blonde in the name. But yeah, they're both Starbucks Keurig cups. And yeah, it's a nice change of pace. I was using Folgers earlier. I mean, I like Folgers, but I just prefer the Starbucks K-Cups better. But yeah, let's kind of jump right into the first topic, which is Carson Wentz having trade rumors. So those who don't know, Carson Wentz is an NFL quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. And there have been speculations that Carson Wentz actually wants to leave the Eagles and that the team is willing to trade him. And that the Bears, the Chicago Bears, and the Indianapolis Colts are interested in him. Starting with the Colts have Frank Reich, who's already worked with Wentz as an offensive coordinator for Philadelphia, so he already has that connection with him. And the Bears have shown interest after it's been leaked that the Eagles want 2 first-round picks and a player for Wentz. And the Bears have John DeFilippo, but he was part of his success on that MVP run he had. DeFilippo is currently the quarterback coach for the Bears. I think I would prefer Wentz to go to the Colts for his sake. I think they're a little bit more structured. They made it to the playoffs for starters with not a great quarterback, but a decent quarterback. Philip Rivers is no scrub. And I think it probably work better to go to Frank as a coordinator, just because, hey, if you went to a Super Bowl with this coordinator and you get the quarterback back that got him to the Super Bowl, man, I mean, maybe something can happen again. And the Bears, I mean, as much as I'm a Packers fan, I still root for the Bears. I just not when they're playing against the Packers. I want them to be successful. I wanted to have some success in the city of Chicago. I just don't think Wentz will be the answer. They just have a lot of missing pieces. They need an O-line, and I just don't think he's also worth first-round picks. They need to use that first-round pick to get the quarterback of the future. I just don't think Wentz is that future. I would prefer the Bears use that pick to get something like Mac Jones, and then on the second pick they get a good O-line piece, or maybe other way around. They get the O-line piece in the first round. But, yeah, I just don't think Wentz is worth a first-round pick to begin with. I would understand it if maybe they did a trade with second-round picks. I think that'd be a decent trade. And I just don't think the Bears, I don't know, can afford to lose a player. as someone that's up there, I think would be Khalil Mack, but I think that's still too big of a stretch for Wentz. I'm curious of what's going to happen. I'm hoping Wentz goes to a team that best fits him. Before the season, I was hoping he'd have a comeback year. Obviously, he didn't. He was one of the worst quarterbacks of the 2020 season. I mean, I'm rooting for Wentz. I hope he has some success somewhere. He just needs to work on himself and figure out ways to play less hero ball and just make smarter decisions when he's throwing. I got a feeling he'll probably go to the Colts. I just think that's the easiest route for him to get to a team. But we'll see. So let's talk about Kevin Durant sitting out of the NBA game on Friday night. So Kevin Durant was essentially he was benched in the third quarter and was asked to leave the bench in the middle of the game. So he was pulled from the game after there have been traces that he's been in contact with somebody who tested positive for coronavirus, even though Durant himself tested negative 3 times 24 hours prior to this game. He got sent back to the locker room or wherever he went that wasn't in the game, and he later tweeted, "Free me," meaning like, you're holding me back, you're not letting me play. He's just upset. He feels like he's being disrespected and that he's not being allowed to play. I just don't think this was handled properly in terms of how the NBA did it. Like, for starters, they literally said that he wasn't going to play to begin with because of this contact tracing. There was no confirmed test yet. And they said, okay, now you can play. And they're like, well, the test came back, it's negative. You can't play anymore. It's like, just set him out the entire game. Better yet, if you are that concerned that somebody has gave COVID to one of your players, wouldn't it just make the most sense just to cancel the game? Even James Harden said that, his teammate. It would make more sense. Like, don't make it on this one player and just ruin his night, because he most likely won't play today. But I don't know. I just don't think it was good on the NBA's part. And sure, sometimes a little harsh on Kevin because he kind of is a little bit of drama queen. But I can understand why he was upset. That would frustrate me, honestly. So I mentioned we'll be doing a Super Bowl preview. I did a collaboration with Rob from the Corner Store podcast. He's a really great guy, and I enjoyed working with him on this segment. So that'll be coming up right now.
All right, what up, people? This is the Corner Store podcast in collaboration with the Combat Sports Podcast. My name is Rob from the Corner Store. This is AJ from the Combat Sports Podcast. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here. It's been a snowy afternoon and evening, but I got to my girlfriend safely, so I'm here, and I'm excited to be on here.
Cool, man. Yeah, this is getting set with this Super Bowl 55 prediction video. So what you got first out there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let's just talk about, was this the matchup you predicted, Rob?
Actually, I predicted the Packers and the Chiefs because I thought that would have been more of a blockbuster type of matchup. But still, I mean, even with Tampa, because of Tom Brady, them playing in Tampa at pretty much like a home game. So that's just as much as box office as Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It would be box office, and I think it'd be extremely box office for State Farm Insurance, since those are the two biggest spokesmen. So I guarantee they were probably a little bummed out that Rodgers didn't make the cut for the last spot.
I'm sure all types of commercials would have been coming out during that whole matchup, but I'm still going to enjoy the game. So I'm sure it'll be good from start to finish. So, as long as Tom Brady's playing, he's, to me, the biggest Super Bowl X factor in history, because as long as he's playing, I mean, your team just got a chance, man.
Well, that's true. And kind of what my prediction was, I had a prediction on the preseason, then I had a prediction going in the playoffs. The preseason, I would say Saints, Seahawks versus the Chiefs, just because nobody was coming out the AFC, I think, besides the Chiefs. And we were right. The Chiefs did come out on top. And then at the beginning of the playoffs, I started to see the Packers definitely make a large statement in their playoff run. They went 6 undefeated games, and I knew, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Anyone that knows me, I'm a big Packers fan, and I wanted to see that matchup. But yeah, he was just looking real hot, but unfortunately, he couldn't seal the deal when it mattered most last game.
See what the well, maybe the Packers. Their problem is like to me, they're more like front runners, and all season they really didn't deal with that much adversity. And when they were down, pretty much in the first half, they pretty much just had to kind of like play perfect football in the second half. I mean, they almost made a comeback, but the Bucks first half was just more impactful than the Packers second half. So that was pretty much like the difference of the game.
I completely agree, and a lot of it had to come down with some miscommunication on that last drive for the Packers. Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers weren't on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly Rodgers was frustrated. I mean, from his standpoint, he would have likely wanted to go for it. And if they didn't convert, then you still got the 2 minute warning plus three timeouts. And they was kind of pinned down. So that would have been like a whole different story as far as how Kansas City would have like, I'm sorry, but fucking Tampa. It would have been a different story how Tampa would have like game planned their way out of that deep territory.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were right. Tampa definitely just came on top in that first half. One big play that stuck to me the most was when Tom Brady went down from fourth down, I think in the last 13 seconds of the half, and then
Yeah.
big old touchdown pass to Scotty Miller. Went from a 4-point deficit for the Packers to 11. So that
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
played a factor.
Yeah. They just play single high, and Miller, he just got behind his man, and I was looking like, really, did that really just happen?
Kevin King was very frustrating, to say the least. But Scotty Miller, he's no scrub. He's a big track star. I believe he was considered a big state runner in terms of sprints. So he has some top speed.
Yeah, I think Scotty Miller kind of challenged Tyreek Hill to a foot race, so I just wonder who will end up winning that one. So
Oh yeah,
that'd be nice to see.
definitely. And like just going into the actual matchup, who do you think is kind of the more valuable quarterback on the teams? Is Brady more valuable than Mahomes?
It's hard to say. Tom, he pretty much did it for like 2 decades. So I mean, conventional wisdom would say that Tom is probably like the most valuable. But like right now with Patrick Mahomes, he's a Super Bowl MVP, a league MVP, and he has his youth and he's playing top of his game, and especially for a kid his age and like the maturity and the poise that he has. Like no matter how many points he's down, he's always going to find a way. And with Tom Brady, I mean, he pretty much does like a lot of dinking and dunking, and he doesn't have that take the top off of arm that he used to have when he had Randy Moss. So, but for
Oh
right
yeah.
now, I'll probably say Patrick Mahomes is the most valuable one quarterback right now.
Um, I guess for me, Brady is probably the most valuable to his team compared to Mahomes because think about it. Last year, the Bucks had Jameis Winston and they didn't make the playoffs. And ask yourself this: if you were to put Jameis Winston on the Chiefs, do you think they could have made the playoffs?
No, he's too turnover prone. He will
Oh,
put them in
that's
bad
true.
situations constantly. So yeah.
That's
Now,
true. And
what
yeah,
what
go
did the
ahead.
Bucks go last year as far as record? Remember?
Um, I don't know per se at the top of my head, but you were right. James Winston was a turnover machine. I think he was the first quarterback to have 30 plus TDs and 30 plus interceptions in the same season.
Yeah, that's one hell of a record. So
Yeah, but he has some arm talent, but he just needs some polishing up to do.
oh yeah. I mean maybe he needs a more experienced coaching staff that can kind of cater to his strengths. But I mean, Brady to me, he could kind of play under any system. So I mean, we just used to see him with like Bill Belichick. Even though Belichick is a defensive guy, he had Josh McDaniels and Charlie Weiss and Bill O'Brien pretty much his whole tenure at New England. So he was pretty much with consistent coaching and Winston. I don't think he really had that throughout his tenure with Tampa.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just more on Brady. It's just kind of crazy how he kind of had like a comeback season. I mean, he was throwing nowhere near these numbers, and it kind of goes down to just how well he can adapt to different systems, what he best suits for.
Yeah, right.
And he's really happy to have all these great weapons. He didn't have these weapons in New England. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, OJ Howard, and he still has Gronk, who he has a great connection with playing many years in New England.
Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, consistently, we see the way KC plays, and we pretty much know what type of team that Kansas City is going to be on a week in, week out basis. But as far as Tampa, you really don't know which team is going to show up. I mean, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that played against the Bears, which Tom Brady didn't know what down it was at the end of the game, or are we going to get a Tampa in which they kind of ran up like the score against the Lions, or they, played well against the Redskins? I'm sorry, the Washington football team in the first round. So I still got to get used to calling the Washington football team until they get a mascot. So,
That's true.
but you really don't know what type of offense you're going to get with Tampa. With Tampa, in the first quarter. So like the first quarter is going to be a telltale of how the game is going to play out with Tampa. But I mean, no matter how many points the Chiefs are going to get down, I mean, you just can never count them out. But if Brady gets a deficit, if you make him one dimensional, then I mean that's pretty much going to be the game right there.
It's right on the money, man. I agree with that. But just just back to the Bears game, how he didn't know what down it was. Me and my buddy have this running joke that Tom Brady is so old, he's already developing dementia. He didn't know what down it was because of that.
Right.
And another reason why he doesn't shake some quarterback's hands because he thinks it's halftime.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. What you got next?
I mean, let's kind of just get into depth at the weapons that each team has. I mean, I'll start off. My favorite weapon from Brady is Mike Evans. He's
Mm-hmm.
just a freak of nature. He has the height and power of like an NBA player, and I've been following him since he was in college because he was on Texas A&M, where he was
Mm-hmm.
on that Heisman year with Johnny Manziel. He pretty much made Johnny Manziel look really great because he just wasn't a polished quarterback. So Mike Evans was really underrated in terms of that college football season, and he's been in the league and consistently have gotten, I think ever since he came in, he's had 1,000+ receiving yards, which is a very hard thing to do.
Oh yeah. 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 Of course, it's hard for receivers to kind of transition from college to the pros. Yeah, also running backs too, mostly with pass protection, from the blitzes and stuff. But yeah, man, that's definitely a good feat that he had because he was in the same draft as Odell Beckham. So Beckham, he has like a couple of catastrophic injuries, and Evans, he's pretty much been consistent throughout his whole career. So, but he has a competent quarterback to like throw him the ball. So yeah, he has that freaking nature as far as the height. He could pretty much just throw it up. And, for a
Uh,
jump ball situation, he's going to go get it. But as far as the Chiefs, I mean, everybody just got speed, man. I
oh
mean, you
yeah,
got Tyreek and Pringle and Demarcus Robinson, Mikael Hartman, even Sammy Watkins. I mean, he was a first round draft pick a few years ago, so he's no slouch.
oh yeah,
So
definitely.
as far as pound for pound, who has the most talent to me? I mean, I would go with speed any day, especially with the arm that Mahomes has. So yeah, I would go with the Chiefs, but yeah, Tampa got good weapons too. But Brady is still a compromised 43-year-old quarterback. So I would go with KC any day.
Yeah, I would go KC because I really like Travis Kelsey. He's going to be in the history books. I'm pretty sure he already is in terms of one of the best tight ends in history. His duo with Mahomes is just unreal. I mean, when Mahomes targets Kelsey, he actually has a passer rating of 140, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a big target, huge target, and he hasn't had any major injuries, I don't believe. And to me, I think Gronk is the best tight end I ever seen. But Gronk, he always been hampered with like nagging injuries. And I remember when he tore up his knee and he had back injuries, he broke his forearm. So yeah,
Right.
Gronk, he missed a lot of football, but Kelsey's been consistent as well. So
Yeah, definitely. And I like Gronk. I mean, he's a great character. He's just a great, funny guy. I enjoy his little takes he has. He did a little commentary, I think, last year, and I enjoyed what he had to say. But yeah, you're right. Gronk had some lingering injuries for years. I mean, he's only won one Super Bowl with Tom Brady of all the years he's played with them. So I'm sure he's hungry to get another one for all the missed opportunities.
Gronk won Super Bowl. Well, as far as being on the field.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. The year with Atlanta, I believe he was hurt that year, but the Seattle Super Bowl he played,
Oh, okay.
and he also played the Rams. So yeah, I mean he has 3 rings, but he didn't
Oh,
play he didn't play against the Eagles, which they lost, and he didn't play
right.
against the Falcons, I don't believe. So
Right. Yeah. Um, but just another person that I definitely have my eyes on is Honey Badger. I mean, I think Minka
Matthew.
Fitzpatrick is the best safety, but Honey Badger's definitely up there because he's just very dynamic and he can take up the field. And yeah, I mean, I definitely will be watching him, see what he can do.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to it, man. So I mean, if Brady can be accurate, because I mean, like towards the end of the game, I mean, he was just overthrowing folks, and especially this one pick in which he overthrew Evans and tipped off his hands, and it was an interception, and they was in field goal range, so that could have been catastrophic. And as far as them losing the game, had that happened, but
Right.
yeah, Brady has to be accurate, and he has to take the top off the defense, and if he can't do that, then it's going to be like a lot of dinking and donking, and yes, it's going to be a long night for him. So they all want to play catch up.
Yeah, and I'm very curious what the Chiefs are going to do in the run game. I'm not sure they're going to adjust just because I really would like to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire have a breakout game. He hasn't really had one in a while. I think the last game I can remember was maybe during the beginning of the season. He had a real good opening night on that week 1 game. But I like to see what he
Yeah,
can do.
he probably hit that rookie ceiling, and plus he had an injury towards the end of the year. But
Right.
yeah, the Chiefs there misses a couple of offensive linemen, which is kind of huge. But to me, I don't think they should miss a beat per se because of the type of offense that they run. They do jet sweeps, the misdirection, the motions, and the hurry up offense, and that's going to make a defensive front gas out more. So as far as some passing versus run, more of a 3-to-1 ratio. I mean, it should gas those guys out towards the end of the game. So hopefully, to me, it shouldn't really make a difference by the way the offense is pretty much ran. So
Right. And just to kind of transition more to defensive side, I mean,
mhm.
my personal thought is that I think the best defense always wins the Super Bowl. I mean, which team do you think is better defensively?
I think the Bucks, but I think they'll be nullified because of the Chiefs, fluid offense. Because I mean, the Chiefs don't come off as a team that runs the ball 25 times a game. I mean, if you're running the ball, then the defensive line is not exerting so much energy. But if you're constantly passing with all the motions and the misdirections, then yeah, that's going to gas them out even more, and especially if they get into a deficit.
Right.
So yeah, that could be huge. So yeah.
Um, yeah, I definitely agree with that. And what I like with the Bucks is they probably the best run D. So yeah, I definitely don't see the Chiefs. I guess running as much as I would like to see them.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing I want to point out about the Chiefs' red zone defense is it's not the best. I mean, that's kind of reason why they haven't really had a lot of blowout games or like wins. Usually the wins are kind of like 1 score or 2 score. I mean, they're really like a 2 score kind of game.
Yeah, they do enough to win. I mean, they win all types of ways, but I mean, who knows? I mean, between this matchup and the Super Bowl, I mean, it to me it may just favor them more because Brady's so compromised, and I mean, as long as the Bucks don't get into a lead, um, I mean, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. So that's the greatest thing about sports, man, especially football. To me, it's the greatest reality show out there, and you just don't know who's going to win until you actually see it. I mean, there's no trailer or anything for you to get some sneak peeks. All you got to do is just sit there, watch it live, and just see what happens. So that's
Oh
why
yeah.
we all excited for this game. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I guarantee this would be no more than a 1 score win. Um, Another player I definitely want to see is Levante David, who's one of the best linebackers, and I want to see how he does against Kelsey.
Yeah, you know what? That was the story that came out that David, he was I guess he was crying.
Oh really?
As far as celebrating that yeah, he's going to the Super Bowl, and Brady told him, "Hey, don't cry because you're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, just embrace the moment. Yes, be happy, but like don't cry and be content on going to the Super Bowl. So we still got a job to do. We still got a mission. So the mission is to win the Super Bowl. So don't be crying and thinking that the job is done. So I mean, that's what I like about Brady. I mean, he's the ultimate winner. He's the ultimate competitor. So hopefully he had these guys in line to make it a decent game to watch. So to me, like honestly, this game is more neutral to me. I mean, I could just sit back and just watch a good game because I really don't have a huge dog in a fight like that, because the first one that comes to mind, as far as I was kind of neutral, was the Bears and the Colts, because I was a big Peyton Manning fan. So I
Hmm.
was kind of torn between, watching the Bears and the Colts, because I had a team that won. I mean, I would have been good with it. So this game kind of mirrors that from back in 2007.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just on the topic of Brady, like I'm not the biggest Brady fan just because I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, but I can definitely admire Brady for being just a really great teammate too.
Hmm.
I mean, some people kind of criticize him because he yells at his teammates, but at least he's being communicated with them and like letting them know like, hey, we need to pick up the pace, we need to do this and that. So that's one thing I do appreciate Brady. He's just a real good leader and teammate.
Yeah, I'm sure football players don't mind that. I mean, if your quarterback is doing that to you, I mean, that's the ultimate, alpha male treatment. I mean, you want that from your leader. But if Brady was the type to do that, then chances are he wouldn't be as successful as he is right now. So yeah, I mean, I would expect for him to do that to like get on his teammates if they're not playing up to par.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rob, let's say that it's the final drive of the game. The team that has the ball is down by one score. Between Brady and Mahomes, which one do you think would most likely seal the deal?
I mean, when you say one score, I mean, are we talking 3 points or 7 points?
Let's just make it. Let's just let's put all the marbles down. Say it's 7 points.
7 points. Which quarterback I got more confidence in?
Yeah.
Well, I would say Mahomes, because he can make every single throw. I mean, any throw you want, he can do it. But with Brady, everything has to pretty much fall in line in order for him to secure that drive. Because when it comes to high powered offense, I mean, KC, they can score in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays. But with Tampa, it's a methodical, let's think and dunk and drive down the field. But if they really have to get down there and like, let's just say like 1 minute with like one timeout, and I don't know, man. I got to go with Mahomes, man.
I'm actually agree with you. I'm going to go with Mahomes too.
Okay.
Mahomes and the Chiefs, their kind of styles like backyard deep ball football, and if it's like a long, they're going to find a way to make it work. Andy Reid is probably the one of the best offensive geniuses I've seen in football, and they
Hmm.
kind of learn to be a little bit more strategic and calculated by making the shorter throws and making those work pretty well in the playoffs. And if you here's the funny thing, like if you blitz on Mahomes, sometimes he just plays better. He has thrown 0 picks on the blitz this season.
Yeah, yeah,
So you put the
yeah.
pressure on him, he's going to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, and Brady's good with the blitz too, but yeah, if you blitz, then that's just going to leave more space in open field for like his speedsters like get open and
Oh
find
yeah.
the open man. So but yeah, man, yeah, I mean Patrick all the way, man, because I just think that yeah, I mean he could just make every single throw that you need him to make, and plus he's pretty mobile, so he's not a lame duck like Tom Brady is, so.
Hmm.
So I would expect for him to like, drive the team down the field and secure either 3 or 7 points. So really don't matter
Right.
with them.
Yeah, and I mean this is a game in the making. I mean these are arguably Brady's obviously the goat. He has the most Super Bowls, but Mahomes could be next in line to kind of compete for the goat conversation if he continues to play like this. Did you ever follow Mahomes previous before the NFL?
Actually, no, no,
Oh yeah, yeah.
no.
I seen him play once because he played at Texas Tech against Iowa State, the school I went to.
Hmm.
It was just so crazy. He had a big arm, like Brett Favre kind of big arm, and then he just needed the right style to just kind of polish up his the rest of his quarterback traits. And it was
Hmm.
just kind of funny to think that this guy is on the rise to be one of the best quarterbacks, and he was just like a 3-star recruit.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, people always say that, if Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers had a baby, then you have Patrick Mahomes
That
because
I said that before. I completely agree.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure when you was born, but I mean, I'm more of an 80s baby, and I've been watching football since 1990. So I remember all those Brett Favre years, and I mean, I'm telling you, man, Brett Favre, he was so freaking good, man. He was so good. I mean, he could be careless with all the picks that he threw, but man, he was I mean, he was literally Aaron Rodgers, but he just threw like a tad bit more interceptions. But I mean, him and Aaron Rodgers, they were pretty much kind of like the same quarterback as far as cachet and mystique, and as far as going to Green Bay trying to win the game. I mean, if you playing Brett Favre at Green Bay, more than likely you're going to lose that game. I mean, same with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
And Brett Favre
yeah,
was just so good back then.
yeah. I personally didn't watch Brett Favre play. I didn't really get into football until later. I
Hmm.
was probably after high school I started getting into football. But like I seen clips of Brett Favre, and of course I look at his numbers, and yeah, he just loved to throw it deep.
Yeah,
That was just kind of his
yeah,
thing. He wasn't afraid to throw the interception.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, his receivers used to have broken fingers because I mean they are literally catching rocks like ice rocks in a frozen tundra. So that's how hard he threw it. That's how long he threw it, and he was kind of mobile too. He was one of those country strong dudes. I mean, he was like a weight room type of guy, but he was just naturally strong. I mean, he grew up in Mississippi and he was like a farmer. So, but yeah, man, he was just as good like back then as these guys are now between Mahomes and Rodgers. So yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Brett Favre definitely fit the lifestyle of Green Bay. Royal, Wisconsin, Mississippi boy.
yeah,
I can see why people are so beloved to him. My good friend, he's definitely a huge Brett Favre fan. He likes Aaron Rodgers, but Brett's his guy, and it's just kind of crazy to see that when Aaron Rodgers came into the picture, people were like, "Oh, I don't want this California cool dude."
hmm,
Kind of taking the
yeah,
mantle now of the one of the greatest quarterbacks our franchise has ever seen.
yeah.
But
I mean, if you were to poll Green Bay fans as far as who's your favorite Packer quarterback, I'm sure Brett Favre would probably win that poll. Yeah, because
yeah,
he was just so beloved by those Green Bay fans, and as a Bears fan, I mean he always broke our heart, and I respect the hell out of him. I mean I even had a Brett Favre jersey in high school because I actually worn it the day after they lost the Super Bowl against the Broncos, like that second go round when they had went to back Super Bowls. I actually bought a Brett Favre jersey and wore it to school, even though that they lost. So that's how much respect I have for Brett Favre.
that's dope. But yeah, I mean, what's your prediction? Who's gonna come on top?
My prediction, I mean, based on my commentary up to this point, I think I'm going for the Chiefs. So, I mean, I would expect, I was maybe a 10 point win,
Okay.
a 10 point win. I think it may be close throughout the game. KC will likely be up by 3, and then late in the game, they're gonna score a touchdown and be up 10, and then next thing you know, Tampa's gonna have the ball and Brady's gonna throw a pick and then they just kneel down. So I'm calling it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that this season, since Brady has some deep ball threats, he's making those risks to throw interceptions, and sometimes, depending on if he's playing catch up, he either throws really well or just really careless. He's kind of like a loose cannon sometimes. But I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
I'll go with the Chiefs to win it. My prediction for this game on the floor of the game is I think Bucks will probably be up at half, and the third quarter the Chiefs are gonna remember they're playing a football game, and then the fourth quarter it kind of just depends who gets the ball last, as I was talking about earlier. But I'm gonna say the Chiefs are probably gonna win by 7.
Okay. Okay. Well, the Bucks pass rush is gonna be like key, but as long as the Chiefs can nullify it by the way that they do their schemes, then it could be an easy win for them. But as long as you got the X factor and Tom Brady, then it's pretty much gonna be you know, it could be a close game. So but yeah, man. I mean, that's why we are gonna watch on Sunday and see what happens. So yeah,
Football's the best reality TV show. That's what you
yeah,
said.
yeah. To me, it is. So I'm not sure about everybody else, but I love that type of entertainment. And after the Super Bowl, that's when I really get into basketball. I mean, I would casually look up box scores here and there, but as soon as football is done, then I'll focus more on the NBA and just and pay attention to it between then and the NBA finals. So
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try to catch up on some college basketball. My brother-in-law Ethan, he's a big college basketball fan. I'm sure you've met him.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
he's zoned in, and he knows everything that goes around. And we usually watch March Madness together. So hopefully that'll happen this year, since we didn't get to do it last year.
Oh, okay, okay. Cool, man. Yeah, tell Ethan said what's up next time you talk to him. And yeah, it was kind of messed up the way Seattle went out this year, but I mean, it was
Oh,
kind of a disappointment. But yeah, I kind of expect them to go deep into the playoff run, but it just didn't work out for them.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Russ. Me and him went into detail about how he's been performing. He was just looking real on top, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out towards the last stretch of the season and then the playoffs. But he's Russ. He'll
Mm-hmm.
find some. He'll make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man. So let's see what else we got here. But yeah, man. So yeah, Bucks have no significant injuries. The Chiefs, their major injuries are pretty much the offensive line and DeMarcus Robinson. He was out because of COVID, but I'm sure he'll be reinstated prior to the game. As long as
Right.
he has like back-to-back negative tests and but yeah, so yeah, Brady versus Mahomes. It should be box office and it should be good ratings. I mean, ain't nothing else important should be going on that night. So I expect for it to be a good showing. So yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
agree.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. What my last question would be: do you think Brady will retire depending on the outcome of this game?
I don't think so because he publicly stated that he wanted to play past 45. So right now he's 43. So at least 2 more years. So I mean, he's still going to Super Bowls. What if he loses a win or lose? So I mean, I don't think this year is going to dictate what he's going to lead a game or not. So I mean, it's as long as he got like going to the playoffs consistently, I'm sure he'll stick around. I mean, he's still playing at a high level. I mean, even though his arm is kind of limited at this point, but yeah, he'll still be playing.
Yeah, I agree. He's just wired differently. I mean, real fierce competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he has stated he wants to play past 45. He's 43 right now, so
Mm-hmm.
at least 2 more years.
Yeah. Yeah. So good luck to those brothers. So I'm looking forward to a good game. And but yeah, man. So we could probably get together after the game and do like a breakdown and get the greatest moments, the not so greatest moments. The I usually I don't watch the halftime shows. I'm usually doing something else, but I may decide to watch just because I'll be the only one downstairs in my man cave watching the game. So I might just stick around and watch it. So you still there? You kind of froze up.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, we'll definitely have to meet up and kind of do a breakdown about the game. Or I definitely want to come back and we can talk about NBA.
Oh yeah, I'll go with that. Definitely go with that. And who is your favorite to win NBA Finals this year?
Oh, Lakers.
Lakers. Okay.
How about you?
Um, you know what? Right now, Lakers until Brooklyn and the Clippers can like show me something. But I mean, I'm a LeBron hater, so and I'm actually proud to even say that. So, but yeah, we'll break that down later.
Exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
Brooklyn's looking pretty hot. They just got to fix a few things, but they're a good
Hmm.
contender.
Oh
I just see
yeah.
what they can do.
Yeah, should be good, man. Yeah, man. Again, thanks for this collaboration, man. Definitely appreciate it. Good to talk about some football and for the very last game of the season. So yeah, after Sunday, man, I'll definitely be missing football until training camp. But yeah, man, I'm always willing to talk some football. So all
Definitely, man.
right, brother, have a good night, and I'll see you soon.
See you later, Rob.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
see ya.
I really hope you enjoyed the collaboration me and Rob did. Had a lot of fun doing it. But yeah, that wraps up today's show. I hope everybody had a great week or will have a great week. And I'm excited to see how this Super Bowl game will go. So I'm signing out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who may be interested in my content. And I hope everybody gives me a follow on my social media pages. I am on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the link to those in the description. So take care, everybody, and I will see you next time.